What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be discussing the recovery timeline after a full Ironman triathlon. Now, as you know, I just finished Ironman Lake Placid just about 7 days ago, and you can see the poster of that right here, as well as the medal right here. So I made some changes to my office setup, as you can clearly tell, and hopefully they look good. Let me know what you think. I'm pretty happy with them, actually. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. As far as what you can expect your recovery to look like following an Ironman triathlon. So within the first 0 to 3 days, you'll be dealing mostly with acute recovery. During this phase, you'll be experiencing extreme muscle soreness, especially in the quads and calves, inflammation, fluid shifts, DOMS, and your immune system and your gut might be compromised. This is for obvious reasons. You just went through quite the physical undertaking. But for those of you who maybe the day after, or even you're approaching your first Ironman, being worried about how long it takes to start to feel normal again, this is really the bulk of the part where you're not going to be feeling the best. It's going to be tough to walk around, and you'll be very sore. But aside from that, this is the worst of it. And here's what you should do in these 3 days. Total rest, or just gentle movement if you can manage it. And gentle movement would include walking, mobility, massage if you're not too chafed up everywhere, and just sleep. You should be focusing mostly on hydration and anti-inflammatory foods. Plenty of omega-3s and polyphenols. And I would definitely avoid alcohol. That's one thing that people tend to jump to, especially as a beginner. But definitely don't choose that first 3 days as the time to start celebrating and drinking a ton. You definitely want to reduce the stress on the body so you can recover appropriately. So the next phase is 4 days to 14 days. Now, this we can call the regenerative phase. So what's happening in this phase? Muscular repair kicks in, but connective tissue is still inflamed. So you'll notice now you're much less sore, but you're still very injury prone. So definitely be careful in this phase. Your central nervous system is still going to be fatigued, so you might be experiencing some energy level issues, and you might be prone to sickness. So what can you start to do in this period of time? Light activity like walking, but now you can start to add some short spins or some easy swims. I prefer spins just because of the time commitment it obviously takes to do your swims. It's much easier to hop on the bike and just do a very light 30 minutes. Like, don't even look at your cadence, don't even look at your power, just a very light 30 minutes. You shouldn't be having any real structured training, so take it day by day, see how you feel. Don't do any more than like 3 or 4 rides in that week, and focus on sleep and nutrition. Avoid any runs in general. Definitely no long runs, but I would avoid any runs in this period of time. Now, the next phase, moving into the 2-week to 4-week range. This you can call the rebuild phase. So what's happening in this phase is your energy levels are starting to return, and your cardiovascular system is starting to bounce back. Now, again, your cardiovascular system will bounce back faster than your muscles and your tendons, so you might feel like you have a whole bunch more energy right now, but it's still very important. Once again, don't be a hero. Give yourself the break that your body needs and let your body rebuild, because when it rebuilds, if you allow it to do it the right way, you'll be rebuilding stronger than you were previously. So, what should you be doing in this phase? Now you can start reintroducing some workouts, just light aerobic workouts. So, zone 2 swims, zone 2 rides, and zone 2 jogs. And by zone 2, obviously, we mean that you can start paying a little bit more attention to your heart rate. I would definitely still avoid any speed work or high impact intervals, and pay attention to how your mood, HRV, resting heart rate, and motivation respond to this training. If you feel that any workout that you've done tanks your HRV or drastically raises your resting heart rate the next day, then you're still on that verge of overdoing it. So definitely take it easy and pay attention to those metrics that, I always use my Garmin, but whatever tracking mechanism you have, definitely pay attention to those metrics. And now the final phase, week 4 to week 6 plus. Now you're entering full recovery, and that range really depends on how experienced of an athlete you are. So the longer you've been doing this, you will likely be fully recovered much faster than if this is your first time. So what's happening in this phase? Your structural tissue and neuromuscular fatigue fully settle, and you can begin reloading and base training if you have goals ahead. So now what you can do is start to increase volume and intensity. This is really where I'll start to really try to work in some structure and try to get my volume back to where it was, usually, over the course of like another 4 or 6 weeks. But definitely do this slowly, and you will be surprised at the end of this 4 to 6 week period. You will be stronger than you were pre-race, despite what everybody says. Your baseline is going to be much stronger, and you'll have a much stronger foundation to then bounce farther ahead from. There's no surprise why, when you have athletes who do Ironman year after year, they tend to get faster. And the reason is because it is such an intense workout that you are reaping benefits from putting in that kind of work. So keep that in mind, and definitely pay attention to the signs that you might not be fully recovered yet. And again, just so that I could say I told you, the signs that you're not fully recovered yet include, but are not limited to, your resting heart rate is elevated, your HRV is low or unstable on a multiple day trend, you have low motivation or sleep disruptions, you still feel little pains, sorenesses, or lack of bounce in your runs, which, yes, is a technical term that even Steve Magnus uses, and you are experiencing brain fog, emotional fatigue, or gut issues. Now, even if you are totally in the clear when you do a quick self-evaluation from these items in this list, still follow the general timelines that I laid out above. You definitely don't want to be rushing through your recovery on this one. This is very important. I can't stress that enough, because a very common mistake that a lot of athletes do is they want to get straight back into training because they're so motivated from their successful Ironman or unsuccessful. So you're full of this raw emotion still because the event was so recent, and you just want to go straight away into training. Like the next day of my Ironman, because I was so happy with the result, I had the thought in my head, if I wasn't so sore, I would love to just roll straight into my next prep so that I can just maximize this feeling, just that emotional motivation that I had. But that would have been a massive mistake, not allowing my body to recover. So just keep that in mind, and I hope that this video was useful. If you like this, then please subscribe. Putting a little bit more effort into this channel and the information that I'm sharing over the next 6 months, because now that my brain is free to actually think, I'm not completely bogged down with the intensity of Ironman prep, I can start to really focus in on what would be useful for all of you, and all of you being the people who either want to accomplish their first Ironman, or those of you who just simply want to continue to improve your Ironman or triathlon time, or if you're an endurance runner, this channel's for you. So let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.